Hey, welcome to my second video of my noob attempt at trying to create this robot head in 3ds Max. I've been watching some videos lately on how to fix up the topology on my model, and I think I spoke last time about trying to create as many quads as possible and limit the triangles, and that's going to help us when I go to fix up all of these supporting edges and give us that nice crisp cornering that we looked at last time. One problem: in order to do that, I need to remove all of these supporting edges that I've added. That's going to take a little bit of time. So we're going to focus on topology in this video, but I won't be able to do that until I remove all of those. I also talked about opportunities in the title, and what I mean by that is I was having a bit of a think about it the other day, and I thought if we're going to eventually look at animating and rigging this guy, this faceplate, for example, if I want to make him talk, might actually be better off as a separate object, and I can move that around separately. And likewise, I was thinking maybe the eyebrows just along here, maybe, I don't know. Otherwise, I could just add a bit of depth underneath here, and that'll be a bit easier to move around. Now, the other thing I was thinking about when we're talking about these opportunities is I didn't quite like the way the colour just cut off along here. I also didn't like the way the faceplate, part of the same panel, just immediately goes into that red colour. So, how can we make it look like that breaking colour belongs? And I thought maybe while I'm playing around with my topology, maybe I can create some vents or something in here, or maybe a crevice along, maybe along this plane here, and then it gives it a bit more of a reason to break up the colour rather than just along the same panel. Looks a bit silly, I think, personally. I think last video I also called it topography, which is more to do with maps and terrain and that sort of thing, which this clearly isn't. So the other thing I've learned, which has come in really handy, is a way to remove edges on a polygon without deleting the polygon. I think last video I went up here and I was trying to fix up a bit of a supporting edge here, and unfortunately I didn't fully understand some of the tools, and by no means do I still understand any of them. I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. Just having a go at doing the best I can, learning as I go. So what I might do is we're going to start removing some of these edges. So I also learnt another cool trick, which maybe we can talk about later. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about all that later. Anyway, yes, let's go and remove some of these. So along here, hang on, that's what I want. Don't want that edge, and bam, still got my polygon, yay! What about all these? Let's remove all of these. Dump, 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 bam. Fantastic. Boom, boom. This is going to take a while, so I'm not going to hold you up. I'm actually going to speed this up, maybe cut out a bit because it's going to take me a while, and we'll come back once I have removed all of these supporting edges, and then we'll try and work some more magic, hopefully. We'll see how we go. Let's go ring around there. Ring! Oh bugger, wrong one. Loop! Yay! That's so much easier. Anyway, we're going to keep going. I'm going to be quiet now and we'll speed it up. Okay, we've finally finished getting rid of all those edges, and I've just applied the Turbo Smooth modifier here so we can get a bit of a look at what it looks like without those supporting edges. See, it looks very different. Right, so let's go back to this. There we go, all those extra edges have gone. So my topology, whilst not too bad, is probably a little bit poop. For example, I've got quite a few opportunities here where I can reduce the number of polygons. So see, I've got a bunch of 8 triangles there. I kill those off. I could have done that a bit easier, never mind. Bam, and I have what is called an n-gon, which I've learned quite recently is another term. So I've got triangles, you've got quads, obviously 4-sided, and any polygon, so a polygon with any other number of sides is an n-gon. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut in 4-sided polygons into this shape. And now I've reduced I've reduced the shape that had 8 polygons down to 3 polygons. And each of these has 4 sides, so we're happy with that. So I need to do that around here as well. I mean, look at this. I can get rid of this one as well. Don't need that. And then it doesn't change the shape of my object either. Another one here. Actually, let me just go back a bit because I've just realised. Oh no, actually I can fix that. Hang on. Watch this. Bam. Another one I didn't need. And what I can do with these, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, that's perfect. That's what I want. Right, I've got a triangle. Alternatively, the other thing I could do, oh yeah, here we go. Hang on. Yeah, that's not giving me a lot of curvature. I might fix this up later, but for now, I can get rid of, never mind, I have to come back to that. I have to have a bit of a play around with this off camera, I think, because it's going to take me quite a while. But actually, you know what we can do while we've got less polygons here. Actually, here's another one. Let me just hide. Where's my layers? Here we go. I'm just going to hide this eye. Hide this one. There we go. Okay, now we're in business. So here we go again. I'm going to kill off all these polygons because I've got way too many here. Actually, I'm going to do this easier. There we are. Don't need all of those. I had 6 polygons there, and I can just make that 2 polygons. So I've got all these places on my model where I've created an unnecessary amount of polygons. There you go, 2 4-sided polygons. That's what I'm after. Alright, much better. Now we can put that eye back on if we really want. But I might actually leave that off for now because it's probably just going to get in the way, and I can bring that back later. The other thing I can do, what I need to do is probably create some additional geometry. So when I'm attaching all these, so turning all these into 4-sided polygons, it may come a point where I've got an uneven number of polys here to match up. So I might need to create, maybe cut through here, right through, and then that'll allow me another point to attach and square it off a bit more. And I'm still thinking about detaching this faceplate, only because that might actually make this subdividing exercise a little bit easier. Alright, what I might do while I'm here as well is let's go into our materials. And I remember I wasn't really happy about that glare, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, alright, you know what, I'm going to just start on a new material and copy that over, and then hopefully I can affect that in the scene as well. Alright, so what we're going to do is change this to architectural. Oh, here we go, car paint, that's what I want. Alright, now we're in business. And so that's the colour I've got there, which is not ideal, so I need to play around with it a little bit. First thing is the base colour. I want to make that a red, dark red. Not a purple, but a red. Oh yeah, dark red, like that. That's good. And this, I might have a look at the shine in there. That's a bit of a purple tinge. I want to make it red. I can make it like a green. See, it's got the green up there. I want to make this actually a lighter red. There we are. And then this, I'm even thinking of making slightly pinkish. There's a reflectivity. Alright. Now the other thing is it's got a bit of flaking on it, and I don't really want that. So let's turn the flaking off. Make that 0. Alright, it's a bit smoother now, which is good. That looks a bit better, but I'm still not really happy with that. I think that's got to do with this sort of thing. So I'm just going to go back and have a look at what I did on my other orange here. What did I have on that? So we had diffuse 1, reflectivity 7, glossiness 0.8, that might be it. On the reflection part. Here we go. Oh, reflection colour. Oh crap. Alright, reflection colour. Maybe I want that one to be a bit more. Ah, oh, there we go, look at that. Oh, now we're talking. So we can make that a bit darker or lighter. So we want to make that a little bit like that. That's a bit better already. Right. I'm going to select the polygons that I want this to apply to, and it's going to change the look of the model a bit more, and hopefully, with any luck, also going to reduce that glare that we had, which looked a bit average. So much easier now that I got rid of all those extra supporting edges, because could you imagine doing this without that? Alright, it looks like I've got this one here selected by accident somehow, but that's easily fixed. So now we're going to assign that material to the object, and I'm just going to select that polygon there, and we're going to just give it that chrome again. Is that chrome? Yep. There we are. Now what's this look like? Let's have a look. No glare, and actually that's perfect. That's a perfect red. Brilliant. Alright, so I'm going to go around this model and start working around with those polygons and removing the ones I don't want, and I might even look at, as we talked about those opportunities in changing the mold slightly, creating some additional surfaces and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that for now. So when we come back, hopefully, we'll have some nice looking geometry, and we can apply those supporting edges again, and then from there we can look at turning this into something that's closer to what we want. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. I'm still trying to work out what I'm doing with this, but it's a bit of a learning journey. Yeah, hopefully next time I create an object, I might start with something a bit simpler. So I still sometimes think I might have been a bit ambitious, but I'm going to stick with it because I've come this far. But yeah, I think next time we'll start with something a bit simpler, and see how we can work with that. But by then I should have a much better understanding of how to create some decent geometry, and anyway, I'll see you in the next video.